One spot is up for grabs at the 2026 Women's AFCON, and that is the runner up spot for Group D. Cameroon, due to head to head, have already topped the group, so they know who they're facing. They get the Super Eagles, who somehow have returned. But today, the game that we'll be watching, the game we'll be commentating on is Ghana versus Mali because that is the final slot in the quarterfinals of the Women's AFCON 2026, which means there's one team left that'll have two opportunities to qualify for the Women's World Cup. Also, win the Women's AFCON, the trophy that you see behind me here. This trophy right over there. Wait. That trophy. That trophy right there. That's what they're vying for. But that is what we are here to talk about as Group C wrapped up yesterday and B before that and A previous to that. Mali versus Ghana is the matchup at 4 p.m. And the winner of that game has Malawi on Sunday, which I won't lie, you could do with a worse opponent than Malawi. Don't get me wrong, the Chwenga sisters will still be formidable. But the goalkeeping left much to be desired. And so for Ghana and Mali, it is one final shot, one final opportunity to get to the quarterfinals. And as they currently sit, as you can see on the screen, Ghana have the goal difference tiebreak. And so if this game ends in a draw, Ghana moves on. If this game ends with Ghana winning, Ghana moves on. The only way Mali can move is if they win. Ghana simply cannot lose. That is the scenario. That is what is at stake. And that is what they are dealing with here. And so today we will be watching Ghana's Black Queens versus Malawi's women's team. I forget the name for that team. That are there is what is sitting there. And then even more, Group D, just the one spot that is up for grabs. Now, it's interesting that Ghana and Mali are facing each other in a group stage because, ironically, this is the second time in as many tournaments that Ghana and Mali have found themselves in the same group and vying for the spot to get to the quarterfinals. Now, last year's Women's AFCON, you had South Africa in a group with Mali, Ghana, and Tanzania. Interesting, you see sides that all battled their way through. And in last year's edition, you saw their matchup end in a 1-1 draw, which at that point left Ghana with 1 point and Mali with 4 points. However, last year, Ghana was able to get a win over Tanzania, and South Africa were able to dispatch Mali, and that left them tied on points. But the +1 goal differential to the -3 is what the difference is. And in a similar situation, in this year's group, one final matchup have Ghana facing Mali, and the winner will face Malawi in the next round. But as we said, the next round is nearly complete, as we mentioned. Your matchups going on in the 8th and the 9th. You have Morocco versus South Africa. To me, that's a very interesting matchup. Have South Africa done enough to regain confidence? I think for those who had faith in them to reach the finals, we'll have to see. Morocco, I think, have been the best playing team so far in this competition, just based off of how their wins have gone. And they're going to face the winner of Cameroon, the winner of Group D, playing the runners up, Nigeria, who were able to find the goals and the results versus the top two teams in the group and thus move on. And then later on, but tomorrow, but in a different bracket, you have Cote d'Ivoire and Algeria, and they're going to face the winner of Malawi or Ghana. And to be very frank, the top half of this bracket looks like it's going to be a gauntlet to get through, while the bottom half of this bracket, dare I say, pick a team and one of these teams could emerge all the way to the finals. The way that this competition has broken down, you could have Morocco having to possibly go through South Africa for sure. And if whoever wins that has Nigeria versus Cameroon, and hey, Nigeria haven't played well yet, but you look at the names and you say maybe they get through. That's a tough task. And then they get to the final. On the other side of the bracket, you have the Ivorians versus Algeria, Malawi versus Ghana or Mali. There could be a real possibility that the teams on the bottom half of this bracket or the left side of the bracket, depending how you have it set up for you, could struggle to get through. And by the time they reach the finals, there'll be a side that maybe made it through, feel fresh. And next thing we know, we're saying, how did the Ivorians or the Algerians or the Malawians or the Malians or the Ghanaians, how did they win this? Maybe they may have had an easier pathway. It is very interesting to see how it could go, but that is how it currently sets up. And as a reminder, what is at stake here? Not only are they battling for a women's African Cup of Nations trophy, what I would say is maybe the third prettiest trophy in the world, they're also playing for the Women's World Cup qualification spots. And once you make the quarterfinals, and at this point, 7 out of 8 teams have 2 opportunities to qualify. The first route to qualify is win your quarterfinal matchup and reach the semifinals, because CAF has 4 automatic berths to the Women's World Cup happening in Brazil next summer. So if you're Morocco, you beat South Africa, you're going to the World Cup. If you're South Africa, you defeat Morocco, you're going to the World Cup. Now let's go and play based off of what we've seen them how they play. Let's say South Africa loses their matchup, and then you have Cameroon loses their matchup, and then you have Cote d'Ivoire losing their matchup. And then let's just say the loser, let's say it's Ghana who lose their matchup. Then the 4 losers, as you see at the bottom of the screen here, are in the play-in matches. So they're going to be ranked based off what their current ranking is. So the highest ranked team, which at this point would be Morocco, they would then play the lowest ranked team, which I believe would be Cote d'Ivoire. And then Cameroon would probably play Ghana or Mali again. And the winners of those 2 matchups would then go to the Intercontinental Playoff. And those rows and that route, a little bit more difficult. In that route, you'd have to then battle and go probably win 2 to 3 more games just to qualify. So the simplest route is if you make the quarterfinals, win your game, you're going to the World Cup, and you can also battle for the WAFCON trophy. If you lose, you head to the Intercontinental Playoff, which at this point only has 2 CAF sides. And to remind you who's there so far, Asia have Uzbekistan and Chinese Taipei. CAF will know by the 13th, so in about a week's time after the play-in games happen. The CONCACAF teams, those will be the same type of format as here in CAF. So there's the top 8 teams for so the US, Mexico, Jamaica, Costa Rica, Canada, Panama, IHC. I'm missing the name there. They'll play each other in the quarterfinals. The winners will move on to the World Cup, and the losers will play. So there'll be 2 teams vying for those spots, and then the lowest ranked team in the playoff to go through is going to be coming from Europe UEFA, and that'll be 10 teams. And then there'll be 3 pathways, that'll run their way through. And eventually we'll have 3 additional playoff teams to make the Women's World Cup. But for CAF, it's very simple. Not only are they battling for a spot in the World Cup, but more importantly, the prettiest trophy, third prettiest trophy in the world. The Women's AFCON trophy is what they are vying for. And in Group D, how do we get to where we got? We had Ghana, who started off by defeating Capo Verde 2-0. Doris Boudou with a goal in the 6th minute and then an own goal caused in the 54th minute. And Cameroon got past Mali by the score of 2-1, with Traore scoring on the penalty in the 30th minute after Manga scored in the 14th, but then the 73rd minute penalty got Cameroon through. Manga again with a penalty against Ghana in the 19th minute. That was the only goal scored, and that's how Cameroon got a 1-0 win over Ghana, which tied up the group for them and Mali. And in quite an entertaining game, got past Capo Verde by the score of 3-2. Kone scoring in the 29th minute, followed by Pereira scoring in the 36th. Niakate scored in the 50th and Diarra in the 79th before Kelly scored in the 88th to narrow the distance, but too little, too late for the Cape Verdeans. And so today, while Cameroon will just inflate their score, maybe get players running, save a few players from yellow cards, get some players, work on some things, Capo Verde are going to go out hoping to leave with something. They got their first goal against Mali. They played a good game against Ghana, and now they're hoping maybe for a win against Cameroon. It won't affect the standings. The only game that of note on this date is Mali versus Ghana, where they are playing for the second place spot. Neither of them can catch Cameroon due to the first tie breaking being head to head. And so as a result, you're going to have Mali versus Ghana, and they're going to be facing off. And the winner of that matchup will be facing Malawi on Sunday's slate of games in the quarterfinals of the women's AFCON. So that is what is at stake here. And let's take a moment here to jump and take a look at the lineups that we have for the game. And again, we're going to be spending most of our time here. We'll give you updates on what's happening with the Cameroon Cabo Verde game, but we are going to be spending most of our time with the Ghana Mali matchup because that is a game where CAF made it simple for us here. That is the game of most significance. Not to say the other one doesn't have significance, but this game will have more impact because it's the one spot that is available. And so here are the lineups that we have for Ghana, a very similar lineup, but with one change. So you have Conlon in goal with Dua and Boache in the middle as your center backs. Yaboa over Kusi on the left hand and the right hand side, pushing Josephine Bonsu further up the pitch. We'll see if that is correct when everything is lined up. With Kwadjo and Asantewa in the middle. Evelyn Badu, who had thought she scored the equalizing goal but was called offsides with Doris's first touch, is on the left-hand side with Doris Wadua and then Chantal Boy Horkla as you're starting in a 4-4-2. For Male, you have Karantao, who's your goalkeeper. They are in a 3-4-3. Sissoko and Sissoko are your back two center backs, with the third being Diagne in the back. Diarra and Kudon are your wing backs, with Dembele and Traore in the middle. And up top, so you had Traore, Kone, and Niakate is your attacking trio. A 3-4-3 to combat a 4-4-2. That is where we are currently sitting. That is the lineup for Ghana versus Mali. And for those of you who are intrigued and wondering what the lineup in the other game is, see how many changes potentially Cameroon are making. Again, Cameroon have nothing to play for. Just getting ready for Nigeria and the matchups to come and to follow. These are how they line up here, with Capo Verde going with Silva, Rodriguez, Semedo, Deluz, and Vieira, with Kelly in the middle, with Perea and Mello, with Lopez, Tavares, and Morera up top. Whereas Cameroon going Bia, Manzano, Bulania, Niaju, and then Abega in the back. No Eto up top with the 10, Ungwene, and then Mendua up top, and then Beulu, Imgo Balek, and then Are Tuyap. If I said that wrong, I do apologize, ladies. I do apologize if I get it wrong. So that is where we are. This is what is at stake. And we're going to be here with this matchup, Mali versus Ghana. That is where the line goes through. That's the last spot that is available. I know Ghanaians weren't happy with their performance against Cameroon. I felt it took them a little bit too long to grow into the game. And as a result, they really struggled to find. I think it was also a point where trying to go more direct really caught them into bad positions. If they wanted to pass, the game was there for them. But just wanting to go direct and trying to defend first was really what I felt affected them a bit more. So maybe with Evelyn Badu, who was doing a much better job of winning the ball in the middle and then drifting inside, I think that could help them. Still a young squad, Chantel Boy Horkola has not had the best tournament so far. So maybe this is the game that things turn around for her. We'll have to wait and see. But again, if you look at the players available for Ghana, especially coming off the bench, there's definitely options, whether it's Princess Marfo, whether it's Adubea who's coming there, when there's Linda Wusu, there are options for them. It just comes down to when Kim Lars will go to the bench, when he'll feel to go through. I think if Ghana is able to score one, maybe two early, that might allow them to settle in. But this is a Mali side that when they played last time did cause trouble for them. And so having teams that are familiar with them, teams that are going to push back a bit, I think certainly will cause a bit of a problem for them. So we'll have to wait and see how the game starts to progress. If you're looking forward to watch it again, depending on where you are in the world, you have different options. What I'll be doing is I'll be giving you commentary, but I'll be watching on the YouTube channel for CAF because I've been emotionally and spiritually in the UK with a VPN. And so if you do have a VPN, set it to the UK and then go to CAF TV. So that's CAF's YouTube page, and the game is there live for you as an option if you're looking for where to watch. And if not there, I know there's plenty of other people who will have the game online. And so feel free to jump over there to see what they are doing, watch the games there, enjoy it there. But we'll be here if you want to spend it with us. Truly do appreciate you. All I ask is you just touch up the like button. Tell me who you're rooting for, what your score prediction is, and to work from there. And that's what we will be doing here. So we are about 30 minutes away from kickoff. Again, this is the only game whose result affects the quarterfinals here at CAF Women's AFCON, as there's no one who has finished in second place as of yet. So for Ghana and Mali, reminder, Ghana simply cannot lose the game and they're going through in second. Mali must win. Because though they are tied at 3 points each, Ghana have a +1 goal differential. And so as a result, they have the tiebreaker and they would move on. So again, Ghana simply cannot lose and Mali simply must win. And if any of those two things happens, one or the other side are headed towards the quarterfinals and a chance to win A, the Women's AFCON trophy, but then also B, an opportunity to qualify for the Women's World Cup happening next summer in Brazil. Pardon me, pardon me. And so this is where we are. This is where we sit. This is where the excitement moves in. And so this is where we wait to see what comes next in the games. Players I am looking forward to see. To give you a couple names that I think could impact how I feel this game will run. I think there's a few interesting names that could certainly impact how we see the game running. I mean, Doris Boadua is not had the best, but even worse, I think Chantal Porcola has she struggled this tournament. Not had the best win, not had the best movement so far. And so for me, that's a player that I look at and say, if you can get something. But to me, for Ghana, I'm going to go straight with Evelyn Badu. I think she certainly helped Ghana play with the ball in the middle. The ball was sticking to her more in the middle, and her turns and her provided service certainly helped a lot and making Ghana look far more dangerous. Final third decision making, I think, ultimately doomed them. But I think a player like Evelyn Badu, I think she's going to be very key to the success that Ghana can have versus Mali today. And likewise, if we go to Mali, I had her name here and it's on my tongue and I've missed it. But let me go back to the 2004 edition, right? Aissata Traore, who is a winger. She's playing in the northern and sorry, she plays in the NWSL, so that's the women's league in the United States. She plays for their new team, Boston Legacy. There, she's a player who I feel her pace did bother Ghana a lot. And she's the type of player who'll try to get to the end line, the byline, and then cut it back inside to late arriving midfielders. So that type of gravity, sucking the defense, push them further back, and finding Malian players who are into those pockets of space that are now created because of the pressure she's creating with the defense retreating. I think those are two players for me on each one player on each side who I think could really create an opportunity for each side to move forward. So for Ghana, Evelyn Badu, she's the name I'm looking at to see if she can continue to have the ball stick to her in the midfield, she can certainly start to help with the build-up as well as getting the ball up to the forwards. And maybe two of the forwards will score. And if not the forwards, then look, midfielders, Portia Boache, maraud down in and do what you must. And Aissata Traore for Mali, I think the pace is always going to cause trouble for any defense that you play against. And so for that, I think that's a name to keep in mind. I think that I'll be watching on both sides that could certainly create issues for the teams going on. But again, this is what soccer we have for the lineups. Again, Chantel up top for Ghana with Doris Wadua, Josephine Bonsu, Kojo Asantewa, and Evelyn Badu in the middle. Yeboah Boache Dua Kusi in the back. No Simon for Ghana, which is interesting. I think Conlan as the goalkeeper, who really hasn't had to do too much in this competition. And then Nyakete Kone Traore Asiat, that's number 14. So 14 and 13, those are the numbers on each side I'm watching. Diarra Dembele, Traore, and Kudon. And then Diagne, Sissoko, and Sissoko, and Kerentau. Those are your starters for Mali. As we sit about 20 minutes away from kickoff, and we'll certainly see what it is. Again, at stake, a spot in the quarterfinals for each side. A win from Ghana puts them in the quarterfinals. A win from Mali puts them into the quarterfinals. If the game ends in a draw, Ghana moves on because they have the goal difference. So Mali must win, and Ghana simply must not lose. And the winner of their matchup will then go on to face Malawi in the quarterfinals. And the winner of that matchup will be interesting. And as if you're not aware, this is the quarterfinal setup as it is. You have Morocco versus South Africa on Saturday, and that's followed by Cote d'Ivoire and Algeria on Saturday as well. But it's flipped. So Cote d'Ivoire playing first versus Algeria, and then Morocco get the nightcap versus South Africa. And then on Sunday, you have Cameroon versus Nigeria. And then the winner of the Mali Ghana game plays Malawi in the evening nightcap on Sunday. 3 days after that, we'll have the semifinals. And then the day after that, we'll have the quarterfinal losers play each other. And from there, they'll go on. There is a third place matchup in this tournament, in case you were wondering. So, losers of the semifinals will play for third place. Last year's edition, the third place game was won by Ghana, who defeated South Africa in penalties. But last year's was not a World Cup qualifying tournament. So just to give you up to date with that, last year's tournament went Morocco over Mali 3-1. So Mali are not a unfamiliar side to reaching the quarterfinals. Ghana got past Algeria in penalties. Nigeria got past Zambia 5-0. That was a very big headline-stealing game. And South Africa got past Senegal 4-1 in penalties, 0-0 in the game. The semis went Morocco, Ghana, over Ghana, 4-2 in penalties. And Nigeria, a late goal, gets the winner over South Africa. Apologies. And then Nigeria, probably one of the more classic finals for WAFCON. Morocco up 2-0. Nigeria battling back, get the remontada going, 3-2 final score. And Ghana, in a surprise, getting the penalty win over South Africa, 4-3. That's where the Ghana hype began. That's truly where the Ghana hype began. And so from there, that's where we sit. That's where we're going. Now, fun, I'll actually pull up the last qualifying tournament that we had. So that's 2 years ago, which, if you are familiar with it, we'll give you some familiar teams. So in 2 years ago, in 2022, 4 years ago, my apologies, in 2022, which was also hosted in Morocco, you had Morocco getting past Botswana 2-1 in the quarterfinals, while Nigeria got past Cameroon 1-0. So that could be a very tight matchup as well. Zambia got past Senegal in the quarterfinals, and then South Africa got past Tunisia in the quarterfinals as well. South Africa got past Zambia 1-0, while Morocco defeated Nigeria 5-4 in penalties, but 1-1 in 120 minutes, which meant you had South Africa getting a win over Morocco 2-1 in the finals. They scored in added time. And then Zambia got a 1-0 win over Nigeria in the third place game. The teams that went to the IC playoff 4 years ago were Cameroon, who defeated Botswana 1-0, and then Senegal, who defeated Tunisia 4-2 in penalties. And that is where they went. And the fun thing about this is, in those intercontinental playoffs, they played many games. Senegal were defeated by Haiti in their pathway, so they were quickly eliminated. And then Cote d'Ivoire. No, was it Cote d'Ivoire? Sorry for all the scrolling here. It was Cameroon. Cameroon fell to Poland 2-1 in the final of their pathway to Portugal. And so no African team made it through the IC playoff route. And so that's where we currently sit. And so for this year, I think I would love to see 5 African teams in the World Cup, which means I would love to see one African team make it through their pathway. That's what I would love to see. And so for the 4 that qualify, going through the semifinals, I would love to see a 5th side make it through the IC playoff. That would be very good, I think, for the continent, just to get 5 teams there. Currently only 4 automatic spots. It will be difficult, as we showed you earlier. The IC slots, I think CONCACAF and UEFA are certainly going to give themselves opportunities to go through. Last year's edition, I'll show you what last year's edition was, actually. I will show you last year's edition. So last World Cup's edition, not last year's, but last World Cup's edition, you had from Asia, Chinese Taipei, and Thailand. So again, almost similar to what this year's are. You have Chinese Taipei again, but now you have other sides coming in. CAF, we'll have to wait and see. CONCACAF, you had Haiti and Panama, who both qualified in their pathways. Paraguay and Chile, they qualified in their pathways. Papua New Guinea, again, making it through Oceanic. And Portugal was the lowest ranked winner of a UEFA playoff, and they went through the playoff as a result. And the 3 pathways were, you had 3 pathways. So the highest seeded teams, A and B, for Portugal and Chile, they got byes. So the other 2 teams in their pathways have to play each other and then go through. In pathway C, Chinese Taipei and Papua New Guinea had to face 2 sides, and then from there they would move on. So in Group A, that pathway was Cameroon, who played Thailand. And as we said earlier, they defeated Thailand, but then they fell to Portugal in a dying moments penalty given up, which was really a sad thing to see. And so Portugal made through in their pathway. In pathway B, as we had mentioned, Haiti got past Senegal 4-0 rather easily, and then defeated Chile 2-1. In control of the game for the most part, even though Rojas scored in the 90th plus 11 minute, Duvernay with 2 goals in the final, while Mondesir, Louis, and then Borgella getting 4 goals total from them. And then Group C's pathway, it'll look like this again. You had Panama getting past Papua New Guinea, and then Paraguay getting past Chinese Taipei 2-2, and then 4-2 in penalties. And then in the final, you had Panama getting past Paraguay with Sandeno scoring in the 75th minute. And so that's what the pathways could look if they make it there. So it's, again, not an impossible path. It is not an impossible thing to do, but the teams have to come there prepared. And I mean, for CAF, not being able to at least give a Zambia a chance to qualify is unfortunate, but that's what comes with this territory. They went to Jack's watch 16 teams, and that meant one group was going to have three quality sides. Not many people saw Malawi coming up and performing well, and as a result, that caught them off guard. And so Zambia out, a team that made last year's World Cup, a team that made last year's Olympics, the last edition of the World Cup and the last edition of the Olympics. They aren't going to be at the 2027 Women's World Cup, and that's where we sit as we go. As we're getting closer, 15 minutes away from the kickoff. As we sit, and if you haven't already, just touch up that like button. Subscribe if you do like the content here. We do primarily Canadian and African content here. So as we go, we're about 20 away from 1500. That'd be great if we can reach that. But again, I'm not going to worry about this. We're just here to provide you the action and everything that's happening in this game. And so we will be on that game. The game we'll be following for the most part is going to be this Mali versus Ghana matchup, which we're about 13 minutes away from. And so we'll be providing the commentary in that game. I mean, if it's not the good commentary team, swing back by. Like, it'll be me giving you passing and movements, me giving you the excitement or overexcitement for some, and we'll enjoy it together as the last spot in the quarterfinals is up for grabs. And we certainly are going to be there for it. It looks like they already have that action going. Let's go. All righty. We can adjust. We can live well. So coverage is up on the CAF YouTube channel if that's what you're looking for. Again, as it stands currently, if yes, John Patrick, it has been. And you know what? You're not tired of me yet. We're out here. We're out here struggling. uh good times, good highs. But you could see the supporters there. I think the last game that we've seen, as we're seeing some of these supporters here in the stands, you're seeing the Malians there, you're seeing Ghanaians there. There's certainly a lot of support open for it. It's a big game. You win this game, you have a chance to make the World Cup. You don't. I think for Ghana, it would be a disappointment seeing that they finished and got to the semifinals last year's edition. For Mali, they've made the quarterfinals the last couple rounds, I believe. Yeah. Let me actually run back and confirm that for you. Because they made last year's. In 2022. No, they didn't make it in 2022. And so let me actually see what their finish is. Mali, it was their 8th time here. And let's actually go through that as you look at the quarterfinals and where they've come so far. For Morocco, this is their 5th edition, and they've been runners up 2 times as they sit in the quarterfinals. Zambia, in their 5th edition, were not able to make it through. Tanzania as well in their 3rd. Malawi, in their debut run, the 153rd ranked team, according to FIFA, are a win away from making the World Cup. So congratulations to them. Algeria in their 7th edition, typically been a quarterfinal side. That's what they've typically done. So another quarterfinals. Last year's edition was their best finish ever. Nigeria, 10-time champions, have a chance for 11. I guess they're starting with toe rings now. Good for them. Ghana have been runners up 3 times, but made the semifinals last year. This is their 12th edition. And then South Africa, their 14th edition. They won it in 2022. That was the edition to qualify 4 years ago. Cape Verde didn't make it through. Kenya, this was their 2nd edition, as well as Burkina Faso. And then Cape Verde, the first time. Senegal finished with 4 points. They made the quarterfinals the last 2 editions, but not this time. And then Cameroon, this is their 13th time here. They've been runner-up 3 times in 2004, 2014, and 2016, while the Ivorians finished in 3rd place in 2014. And then Mali finished in fourth place in 2018. So the additions before that, that's Mali's ninth time there. And Egypt, this was their third run in. So congratulations on previously. They were in group stage teams, 98 and then 2016. As the broadcast is up and we are getting ready to go. So we are here. This is it. This is the moment. And we got the good commentator on it. So you may not need me, but I'll do my best to try to match this guy. So they're playing actually stadium. And again, a reminder: if the game ends in a draw, this if it ends in a draw, Mali are eliminated and Ghana goes through. And so that's something we'll definitely keep an eye on. But yes, Malawi are ranked that low, and just Malawi have never been able to get. Malawi is an interesting story for two areas. They've been one of Africa's what if stories because, again, Chawinga and Tabitha and Temwa Chawinga have been two solid, if not elite, forwards in world women's football. Chawinga was playing, Tabitha is playing at Lyon, or she's playing in the French league, and then Temwa came over to the North, the NWSL, so the U.S. league, the American league there, and so they've been a side that when CAF sometimes would do zonal, because CAF sometimes tries to do qualification to get representation from all corners of the tournament. So in Africa we have zonal spaces. So we have West Africa, Central, we have Southern Africa, and so on and so forth. North Africa is one option as well. And so when you look at some of those zones, sometimes it just eliminates. You see that a lot on the men's side where they have to qualify via zonal, and then they go to a qualifying tournament going from there. CONCACAF used to do something like this, where they have the North American teams, you would have the Central American teams, and you'd have the Caribbean teams in three pots and qualify to have equal representation. But then they just start saying, just let's just go based off of who is there. Let's just run based off of who is actually available and who is there. And so in doing such things, that's where it becomes a very interesting thing. Let's give you a quick shot of this, right? So you have the Central Council of Southern African sides, you have Eastern African sides, COSAFA, and then SECAFA, and then UNIFACA is that's middle to east. The UNAF is the Union of North African Football. WAFU is West African Football, and then WAFU, WAFU being such. So imagine trying to create a pool, but you're trying to make sure you have equal representation from all these sides. Some sides could have easier pathways, some sides may not. So they kind of scrapped this on the women's side and decided to go more so just seeded teams, unseeded teams, and then running from there. By the time you get to the end, you'll have some seeded teams versus unseeded teams versus seeded teams and not. And so when you have the draw ultimately, and everything is home and away. And so for this one's around, for example, you had teams who just said, okay, you have to play the team and it's one home game, one away game. Winner on aggregate, you move through. So the first round, you would do something like this. And then once you got to the second round, sorry for jumping around like this, you get to the final round, which was for 12 teams. As we're doing the anthems right now, we'll see what Mali are wearing. I'm very curious to see what they wear. Then you get to that, and then eventually you have your 12 teams, but then CAF decided they would add the four best losing sides. So the teams that were losing, but then moving on. So again, by their ranking, Cameroon 66, Cote d'Ivoire 71, Mali 79, who are playing tonight, and Egypt 95. They got added in because of where they ranked, and that's what did it for them. And so the 16 teams for WAFCON were then selected, which is interesting because you have two out of the four teams that were added have won their groups and are moving on. Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire. Mali, another team who technically didn't qualify, are in a battle to make the quarterfinals. So that could be a very, for people who are very much saying, hey, look, at least on the women's side, teams are improving, which I tend to side on that side. If you added four teams who didn't barely made it, now all of a sudden you have sides that are there and playing like, oh, okay, this is good. This is good. Good for them. And so I think it's a good shout for them. It's a terrible look for the teams who qualified because, I mean, other than Egypt, everyone else has kind of looked decent, has looked good. And so, yeah, seems good for the small teams. So if they want to improve, they've got to get experience playing against stronger teams as well. Agreed. Agreed. So now we're running through the anthems. Ghana in their yellow. Don't worry, my kit's just over there. So it looks like we're gonna have Mali in the green, Ghana in the yellow. I love a good color clash when it comes to when it comes to uniforms on the pitch. But we'll have the score ticker here. I'll actually add the score ticker for Cameroon versus Capo Verde. So if any of you are interested in that, we'll have that available for you. But anthems are complete. We have handshakes coming through. And let's take a look here. So it's the Scorchers of Malawi. So Malawi in a 3-4-3, as we had said before. So let me make sure I put some respect on the team names here. All right. So about 2 minutes away from kickoff. As we're sitting here. Good to keep a note. There's four yellows on the Malian side. Pudon, Diarra in the middle, Traore number 20, and the goalkeeper are all on yellows. So if they are able to progress, but any of those players pick up yellows, they will not be eligible to play versus Malawi. We have a South African ref. It's a South African head official, and then the rest are Egyptian. So this should be very interesting. So it'll be very intriguing to see how this game works its way through. But Ghana in their yellow, and we're getting Mali in red. Okay. I love a good color clash. And so we sit here waiting for moments as we go. Yes, indeed, indeed, indeed. Three attacks up. Firewall. Good. Thank you for the information yesterday. I finally understood it. You were right. I was wrong. We moved. And Ghana's playing more of a three. They have it listed as a 3-4-1-2, not a 4-4-2. And so you have Doris in the middle with Badu out wide as a wing back. And then you have Kusi and Boadua up top. Mali in the red, Ghana in the yellow. Ghana's going home. Sad. Listen, I just needed to make the World Cup, and after that, we'll go. Yeah, but appreciated it, man. Ah, good times were had. And so it's a 3-4-3 versus a 3-5-2. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry I'm giving all the wrong information. Mali in the whites. Their goalie was in red. I didn't realize that. So it's a white versus yellow. Yeah, that is something I'm gonna keep an eye on. But they could have gone with other colors. White is so boring. Like they could have gone with other colors. Ah, yeah, the goalkeeper is that. So Molly starts with the ball. Yeah, no, same. Same. It threw me off completely, and we are off. As always, I am about 30 seconds. Oh, 20 seconds this time. What a world. As Molly and the White moving the ball into the middle there, they are. They have the good commentary, try to pass it through, but easily defended. Ghana wins the ball back. Satewa on the ball. Kojo gets the ball back out. And now you have players playing the ball out wide. Ghana settling back into more of a back four right now. So we'll see if they can switch between the back four and the back three as they move. As they try to get the ball out wide, but Kusi can't get to it. And Mali back on the ball. As we have Mali now trying to dribble through the middle. Some good movements. Tries to get on, pushed off the ball. Third time, deflection. Ghana gets it. And then Chantal wins it back, playing back. And here we have Dua with the ball, looking for options for herself. Santewa looking, progressing, looking to pass it, but they're not giving there too many options. But pass goes in, deflected, goes back to Ghana. And here we have Ghana building with the ball, now back in more of a back three. They get the ball to Chantal. Chantal gets to Kojo. Kojo gets it out wide to Yaboa. Chantal back to Kojo. Kojo with the ball turned over, but Chantal wins it off. Some good physicality there. She goes direct. Gets the ball out wide to Kusi. Kusi, can she cross it in? Kusi crosses it up. Doris heads it towards goal and done. Doris Waterwell with the first shot on goal, headed in, but saved by the keeper. I waited like 40 minutes for a shot on target for the Jamaica Canada U20 game. So at this point, I'm thoroughly entertained. But good diagonal, good cross in, much better start for Ghana than what they did against Cameroon. They sat back too much, and I think that cost them. So well dealt with, but a good cross in, and with Kusi spending out, being able to release out to wide spaces, I think you may have either of the far wing back crashing in for Ghana, and that could be very interesting for them. So free kick now won by Mali near the middle. Let's see what they can do with this. The free kick coming up. I'm about 30 seconds behind what's showing here on the screen. So if something's happening, I will do my best to keep you up to date with it. As the ball is headed away, Portia tries to clear it, gets it out. Josephine, she tries to go back, swing it out wide to Conlon. Conlon goes through the middle, a bad touch, and results in a corner. A very bad touch by the defender, and now we have a corner coming from Mali. Unforced error. Let's see if Mali can capitalize on it and go through. As it stands currently, Ghana are in second place. This will be so much easier to follow. So first corner coming up for Ghana, against Ghana, sorry. Moving in. Can Mali force the error coming through? Again, you got to swing by. Just touch up that like button if you like this type of content. We do primarily Canadian African content here. So make sure you subscribe if you want to stay up to date with all the videos, all the lives, and everything coming through. Looks like Mali are going the Arsenal way. Mazel in the front. Still waiting. So corner finally in. High looping ball, out swinging. Tried to head out, but second ball one. Tried to deflect. Tried to play it out, but couldn't get the pass to it. Chantal tries to get to it, but can't do it. And now Mali trying to build back. They try to go direct through, but miscommunication dealt with by the keeper. And now Ghana will try to build up with a better pass out from the goalkeeper. Mali are bringing pressure up the pitch, not letting Ghana try to easily pass through. As Portia Boachi tried to put the ball in the middle. Chantal, a little bit lackadaisical on the ball, but goes back to Dua. Dua now with the ball. Nice step over in the middle, gets in the middle to Kojo. Kojo, some physicality, but she gets the ball off. Conlon puts it high looping into the middle. That could be a dangerous ball, won by Mali, but Asantewa gets it back. She turns, looks for an option. Fought off the ball, loses the ball, and a long strike away from everything. You're seeing the strategy from Mali, which is Saratu, who is on a yellow from previous games. She is just provide pressure, turn Ghana over, and then try to take your luck with the chances. They know they need a goal up to go through. And so Ghana trying to pass the ball, but a bad touch turns it over back to Mali. Mali sends the ball back in, and now Mali back on the attack, moving the ball into the middle. They pass by one, turn in the midfield, possible options, but not quite there. Looped up into the middle, headed away, but bad control. Throwing coming for Ghana. Mali so far, after the Doris Wadua chance, it's been all Mali so far. 6 minutes in, we'll see what comes of this. As Yaboa sends it deep, Ghana trying to put some pressure with Doris trying to pressure, put the ball into the middle, bad pass, put out wide, back into the middle. The Chantal Boyle Horkla, she sees the ball, and she tries to chip the keeper. And if she had just played that to Kusi, that could have been a better opportunity for her. But both sides are just saying, listen, Yola, goal to the nets. But the deflection comes on, so we actually have a corner coming for Ghana here. Can we get something off of a set piece? That's asking a lot from me, I know. Something off of a set piece. It's a big ask. So on the corner, ball goes in, cleared by the Malians, but not quite out. Asantewa gets it out to Portia. Portia Boacha sends it up in again, too deep, and easily dealt with by the keeper. Mali now looking to build, either going direct or looking for a build up. And they go deep, but easily went in the middle by Kusi. Yoboa now trying to defend with her honor, but put away and throw in coming now for Ghana. Good action so far. I'm sorry, action so far. Badu tries to play it off, plays it off, and now we have a throwing coming in for Ghana near about the halfway line. So far as you can see, 0-0 is the score still. One shot on target, and that's for Ghana. No foul given on the hold. Lucy looks like she stepped on. But Yabo goes down. Molly's starting to continue the personal Evelyn story. But looks like there might be some pain on the ankle there, but the game goes on. But Evelyn Badu goes down, and she's in some discomfort. That looked very painful. Let's see if we can see what happened on the replay. Gets the ball. Oh, looks like just a bad twist of the ankle there on the land. So hopefully it's something that she can just walk off. So a drop ball goes as Molly goes deep and direct, but one back in the midfield. They play the ball into the middle. They lay it off. They try. Kusi tries to be physical, but free kick now coming for Mali in a wide space. So we'll see what comes from this. Mali and coach hoping for a yellow. That's the more shoulder, but I think the extended arm definitely. The extended, if you're going to play with the body, extending the arm is really going to get the eye of the official there. And that's what the Malian coach is saying. She led with the elbow, not with the body. So let's see if they can create something with the game. Where are you? Where are you currently? Like, which country are you in? Because I can give you some options for where you can go as they try to go short, but too clever for their own option. And it ultimately goes for a goal kick for Ghana. Because I'll say this, if you're looking for where to watch it, Depending on where you are, you have different options. If you have a VPN, I would say turn it to the UK as Ghana starts to build up, and then go here on CAP's YouTube channel, and then you could watch it there. That is always an option for you. As Molly get the ball into some space, if she turns, she could shoot it, but well defended. As now Doris gets the ball, she turns, looking to build, and now Ghana trying to build up here with the ball a little bit more. Let's see what they can do as Dua looks, puts it to Portia Boache. Portia plays it into the middle. Kwajo with Asantewa with the ball, good with Chantal Horkla. Sends it up top. You have Evelyn Badu turning with it back into the middle. So Horkla gets it out to Asantewa. Bodua, Josephine Bonsu. Now they're getting some options. They're getting options here as Chantal Horkla gets the ball out wide. Chantal Horkla looking, cuts it back, puts in the cross, headed away by Mali, but Ghana gets the second ball. They dribble to the left foot, puts a shot in, and held by the keeper. Ghana certainly are knocking. They are certainly knocking. Good strike, nearly out of the hands, out of the reach, but she has just enough arm length to get to it. So still 0-0, with Ghana with the better chances so far. 0-0, but Ghana with the better chances so far. I can just move you, of course. There's a Portia Boache staying over top of a free kick that's there. We'll see what we can come of this. As Portia goes direct, try to head it out, and goes for a corner. So corner come up here for Ghana, who Mali have created a few chances, but Ghana have had the more quality ones so far. So good try, good shots. We'll see if Ghana can create something on this corner set piece. And if you're looking to watch it again, I'll give you commentary here, but if you have a VPN, set it to the UK, go to CAF's YouTube channel, and you should be able to watch it there for free. Let's see if Ghana can come with something here with this corner. A little talking to you from the referee. As the set piece comes in, Kusi puts in outswinging ball, headed down, can't clear it. Shot comes in blocked. They play it out wide to Kusi again. Kusi looks to deliver something, goes wide, and tries to get to it, but Chantal running towards the keeper gets called on the foul, and it is a free kick coming. Good idea so far. As you're saying, John Patrick, I do agree. Ghana's had 2 or 3 good chances. I do agree. Gotta convert here. Doris tries to go with the spectacular, but just can't get her foot around it, and it pops it up. Chantal tries to chase it, but then collides with the goalkeeper, and it is free kick. As the goalkeeper is going to claim that injury. Tactical subs, tactical hamstring stretch. So she's holding her knee, favoring her knee, and so far in this matchup, to give you what has happened so far, it has been Ghana for the most part, 67 to 33 on possession, 5 total shots for Ghana, 1 for Mali, 2 on target for Ghana. I feel like I'm eating good with 2 shots on target. I must be eating well. Passing has been 80% passing versus. This is true, John Patrick. The magic spray is there to help us in a minute. but passing has been far better for Ghana and so far. But again, direct towards goal, so nothing that should have been a goal coming through. But Ghana so far have been the better. Two corner kicks versus one, four touches in the penalty area versus one for Ghana versus Mali. And Mali have more free kicks, and that's where we currently sit. Those are your stats of the game so far. As Karantau is currently being looked at. She looks in a lot of discomfort. I don't know if this means they'll have to swap. We'll see. But it looks like this is a serious. This is certainly taking some time, which means we're probably going to have a solid 5 to 6 minutes of added time at the end of the half. This may be the first time the magic spray doesn't help. The backup goalkeeper does have her gloves on, and this could be something. And looking at who that would be, Liberge, Asiatou Liberge, who's currently playing in Le Havre. This is interesting. This might be a non-contact injury that could be. This could change everything. We'll see. And this is not. This is a young goalkeeper. If she has to come in, but looks like she is back up. Looks like she's back on her feet. A little bit of a limp, and so nothing yet. But she doesn't look like she can take free kicks as the ball is finally played in, and we go from there. I don't know why they aren't showing the game. I don't know why they are not, but it is on their YouTube channel for free. And if someone else is broadcasting it, there have been people who've been broadcasting. I'm not going to risk it because I'm not going to risk the channel. If I had channels to use and to lose, I would, but I don't at this point. But Ghana back in possession. That's where we sit. Thank you. Thank you. But again, as said before, they go good touch by Kusi, gets it in, gets it back down, get the ball to Yaboa. Kojo gets the ball up. Chantal heads it towards the goal, and still a limp with Karantau. Looks like she's going to try to push through. There may be a goalkeeper switch at halftime. There may be a goalkeeper switch at halftime with Molly. It's certainly something we'll keep an eye on. But right now, possession is about 70-30 for Ghana. Ghana have certainly been the better side. As the ball goes in the middle, Kusi gets it, plays it out wide. Evelyn Badu gets it wide. If you do something, tries to cross in, but can't get anything on it. Dribbles to the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper gets it. Karantau is still limping a bit. So I wouldn't, if I'm Ghana, get shots in low because I don't think she can get low as the ball put in. Kusi wins in the midfield. Ghana coming back again. Chantal Horkla puts it through, almost gets to Evelyn Badu, but can't quite. Doris Boadua tries to fight, but a throw in coming in for Mali. But Karen Tao is down again. I don't think she can continue. I think you may have to make a substitution. I think she may be done, which means we might see Asiatu Liberge who comes in. I'm trying to get her what her numbers and what her stats could be. Her last game, La Belge, Liberge, her last game was the friendly right before the tournament against Burkina Faso, where she went 90 minutes in a 2-2 draw. So, big story in the match so far. Mali having to substitute their starting goalkeeper. You could do worse than having, so a 20-year-old product who's playing at Le Havre. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out as well. It looked like a non-contact. How she landed on it going down, M- m- maybe how she braced on it went down. That could have been an issue, but we'll definitely see what comes in. But that's the story of the game so far. Mali's goalkeeper having to exit. Looks like a knee injury. How her tournament is over. And now Asiat Laberge comes in. She plays at Le Havre. She's a backup goalkeeper for them. I'm trying to find any information in terms of any of the things, but that is the story so far. Lee Belch coming in now. So backup goalkeeper in. Let's go, WAFs. Let's go. I was confused for a second, Keelman. I was like, WAFs? I think she might have injured herself just how she went down, which is interesting. But still, again, that's the story of the game so far. Mali substitute their goalkeeper out as the ball is played back in. Chantal Horkla tries to pass it back as we have action again. Probably lengthy additional time at the end of this half. Lengthy. Ghana tries to play the ball through the middle, but too far out. Houdon doing a good job to get there first. Ghana trying to press her to Turner, but she's able to get the pass deflection, and it's a throw coming in. No, for sure. It's definitely a thing where you're watching and you're like, I think it's a moment where you try to go down and sell the foul, but in doing so, you don't allow your body to really protect itself. And then that's what it looks like to me. But that's just a guy on the internet saying what it looked like to him. But still 0-0. Ghana have certainly been the better side so far. And now with a new goalkeeper, start testing her. That's what I would say is we got throwing coming in for Ghana. Oh, elbow into the back. That's a foul. That's a talking to. And that's the thing. If you're gonna be physical, only shoulders. Once you extend arms or elbows, now you're asking for yellows. So if you're gonna be that physical, yeah, a good shoulder, no elbows. A free kick coming now. As Portia Boache goes quickly on it, ball goes up, can't touch, and a goal kick coming. So Gab's napper for trying to fake it. I hope it's not the case. To me it looks like she because again in slow motion everything looks different. She gathers it, she feels the bump, 1, 2, and then you can see the legs kind of go limp. They go limp, and then the knee goes down hard, and I think there's just too much there. As ball goes direct, Evelyn Badu turns, Gets the ball out to Kusi. There's no switch available. They try to go across. Ball put in, not quite there. Chantel turns, puts it back out wide. Josephine Bonsu to the middle. Quadro back in. Back to Josephine in the middle. Turns. Chantel turns, puts that wide. Your boy to Kusi. Kusi tries to get to it. Badu trying to do something with it. Throw in. Coudon is doing a good job defending for Mali, so good for them. Moi, j'aime ça, j'aime ça. Tries to go wide, puts the ball across. Ball goes up, and but offside is the call. Kusi's getting crosses, and Ghana are getting crosses, and Ghana are looking like the better side so far. Just don't have the goal to show for it. And Mali need to take this game a little bit more. They do have the passing ability, but they need to take this game back. Just take control of the game a little bit more as much as they can. Belge with the free kick from the offsides. She puts it up a high looping. Here we go. Kojo tries to turn with it, turns, misses, and there goes the free kick coming from Ali. As Mali now with a free kick. They got players further up the pitch. Turns, passing. And again, like you can see the passing. You can ball put out, but a free kick now. Foul from Kusti. So now into the middle. A little bit past the halfway line. Let's see if they're going to go direct with this. It feels like they're drifting players up to go direct on this free kick. Again, a win is the only way Mali can progress. Ghana simply can't lose, and they progress. So a draw or a win for Ghana, they're good. Mali need a win to be good. So here we are. They go direct, send it up, headed away, headed back into the box, tries to get to it, dribbling, fighting for the ball, kicked out, and goal kick given for Ghana. Ghana escapes there. But if Mali could get time to pass, they will certainly be a side. You can definitely see that with them. Ghana have had chances, but haven't been able to find the result from all the chances they've created. And so the longer this goes, you just need one moment if you're Mali, and you could create something. As Ghana tries to go direct, put in the middle, deflect the pass, goes back to Mali. Mali puts the ball back into the corner, try to defend, try to play it through wide, but well defended. But then one back by Mali, try to bump the player off, bumped off, and corner coming in from Mali. Yep, better for Mali this time, spending too much time around their box. Yeah, you guys can, y'all can play. And that's the thing. It's not like Mali can't play. They can pass the ball like some of the best teams. It's just that they may not have the full talent to go through. And so the draw is probably how this game ends, just based off of the chances that are being created. But here we go with the corner. In swinger. Ball goes down. No one can get to it. It's a scrambled everything. Try to shoot and free kick given or handball infringement, something there. Ghana have the free kick. But both sides on free kicks are getting the balls in advantageous spots. Mali going with the what's it called? The Arsenal way. Get the schmozzle going and then see what happens. Oh, they're going handball on Sissoko there. So still 0-0. Fun game going on here. As actually, let me take this moment as Cameroon are up 1-0 on Cape Verde I'll give you the lineup and the goal score and all that fun stuff there. They're up 1-0. I'll give you the goal score. So I will adjust that for those of you who, need to know. Again, that result doesn't affect the group. It just might mean that Cameroon would go 3 for 3 in their games here. But it is 1-0 Cameroon over Capo Verde. As Ghana are building to see what they can do here. Another free kick. Portia watch it on it. They go a low, tries to switch it over. Yabo with the ball. She cuts it. She puts in a cross, but second ball won, and Molly moved the ball out. There we go. Molly trying to dribble through a phone booth. Nearly does it. Actually does. And Yabo now with the ball back out. And a bad pass. Ball goes out, but now we have an injured Ghanaian player on the pitch. Chantal Boyle Horkola is down. Looks like a bad collision. She gets stepped on. Actually, she gets studded on. Yeah, on the leg, too. Just stuck on. If the ref is paying attention, it's yellow, and she does give a yellow eventually. It looks like they are just intervening. That's a big yellow because if Mali are able to go through, then Saratu Traore will not be able to play in the next game. So if Mali makes through, Traore, number 20, is missing the next official matchup for Mali because of the yellows. Yeah, that is definitely, that's never fun. As a goalie, that's never fun. And as an outfielder player, I'm like, ugh. I'm yelling for my teammates at that point. I'm like, ref. There's a lot of ref calls at that point. But yeah, Chantal should be able to continue on. But I'm telling you, if there's not 7 minutes of additional time in this half, if there isn't 7 minutes, I don't know what to say. Injuries alone are 6. But yes, Asante Wa has a strike that's grabbed. Good, good movements. Good movements. Oh, they try to get to it. Oh, Doris tries to go over. And now Doris is limping. She's on sides, but Doris gets called for the foul. Yeah, Doris tries to, and then tries to chip the goal. Ah, Doris. She's not 5'2". Yeah, the wayward arm hits it and she gets called on a foul. But Ghana trying again, and just Mendua scored for Cameroon, in case anyone's wondering. And so 1-0 in that game. Ghana with a quick throw. They try to go through. Doris with the ball. She's hit over. That's a penalty. Penalty Ghana. Penalty Ghana. She clears. You didn't have to touch her. Or are they calling offsides? Okay. Oh, she's just offsides. She got lucky. She got lucky there. Sissoko gets lucky there that she's just offsides. But they'll take a look at this because if she's not offsides, what you don't need to clear that. Like you don't need to touch the player there. So VR is going to see if it's on sides because if Doris is on sides, then the foul has been called. And defending, why are you yeah, like if there's no need to and they're calling offsides and they're going from there. But like that's a foolish choice. All right, so Ghana now with the ball, turns, tries to go down the middle, but lets it run. But one back, Houdon with the ball now. And now Molly with a little bit more energy moving the ball up the pitch. This is what I mean by they can move it if they want to. Saratu gets it, gets wide, tries to play it over. Ghana just foolishly getting rid of the ball. And Evelyn Badu gets the call on the back, and now we have a good, dangerous free kick. Again, if Molly can get the ball and move, they have the space to do it. They have the ability to move, pass and move, but they just not have the ball so far. And so now Molly, after not having too many chances in this half, Ghana having chances that they've not been able to be too dangerous with, now Molly could possibly open the scoring here. All right, so you could go direct here, or you could go try to cross it and let's see what Molly decides to do with this. All right, let's see what she decides to do. As she stands on it, looking, waiting. She tries to go direct and dealt with by the keeper. Too looping, too much air on it. If she has a little bit more power, she has the right idea. She goes over the wall and tries to. It dipped enough, but if it had a little bit more venom on it, I think she scores that, and that's 1-0. And a bad header in the middle from Kusi, and it's now thrown from Mali. When they get the ball, Mali look dangerous. When Ghana get the ball, they create chances. It's really been an equal game, just final third hasn't had much to show or to talk for. And so we are still 0-0 in this matchup. Whereas, as you can see on the screen, Cameroon are up 1-0 on Cabo Verde. And so we sit there. All right. So Ghana now trying to build up here, giving a little bit more space as Mali want to try to pace and Ghana using players to try to pull the Malian players out. They're using the movement to try to pull them out of where they want to be, whether that is in their pressing or within their space. They get the ball nearly disastrous, but Ghana gets the ball back. And now Asantewa with the ball. She goes, tries to go through. Now here comes Doris. She tries to cross it into the middle, can't get to it. Ball straight to the head, and looks like a ball straight to the face. And as a ref, you have to stop the game there. So stopping the action here. But again, both sides, I think, have chances that they'll look back and say, what could have been. But in terms of the flow of the game, it's been Ghana, all Ghana. And then when Mali have the ball, you've seen their transition ability, moving the ball, the chances created. Mali's had the better chances. Like if you look at Soccer Way or some other stats, you might see Mali have had the best big chance of the game, but Ghana have had shots, they force saves. And sometimes forcing saves means you can eventually get a goal. But right now, the ball went straight to nose. Looks like we might have a bloody nose in this situation. So the player may need to leave for a moment, get that plugged up, and then get back into the pitch. But injury, if this half doesn't have at least 8 minutes of additional time, as Boris tries to cross it and it just gets the player right in the face. That is the worst. Just getting clotheslined by a stray ball is the worst, especially when you're turning and it just gets you. That's now as a kid who played with glasses. Now you're thinking about your frames. The amount of times I was playing, they'd be like, and then my glasses look like this, and I'm blind now, trying to pick myself back up. It's the worst. But she's gonna have to come off. They'll try to deal that with that nose, get that dealt with. So there'll be a drop ball for Ghana here as they go back. As Ghana has a little bit more space coming. As they go direct here, get the ball out. Kusi gets it. Oh, Badu with a good layoff. Plays the back in the middle and punched away terribly. Nearly cleared ball, bouncing everywhere but the nets. Hey, Ghana, what is this? And Molly finally breaking the ball out, but Ghana, I tell you. And Colin gets it. All right, now Ghana back on the ball. Like you said, I want to see that in all its glory because for whatever reason, Molly now with the ball coming back, they turn them over. Good in transition. They play the ball out wide, but a bad pass and a goal kick coming. TV man, give me the replay. Okay, so good layoff. Badu, it's deflected. Lebel punches it. Doris tries to put it in. She misses it there. Chantal tries to go back. Like, you did everything but hit the ball there, Doris. Mm. Ghana did everything but score there. Doris was like, I think I can. Ball, leg. Wah! What do you do? Like, good head, but Ghana wins the second ball. Mali trying to get to it here, but then now Ghana turning with a turn, and there's the a free kick coming in. Oh, for sure. That's a type of situation where she dives, and I'm like, she doesn't know what she wants to do there. If you're not going to claim it, punch it out. You got to clear it. Ghana wins the second ball. Evelyn Badu in the middle tries to get through. No foul given. Slide. Good dribbling through everything, and now Molly on the ball. Molly with a condon. Tries to get in the middle. She does. Now you have Molly going, but cleared by Ghana. Houdon with it. She goes back to the goal. Lee Laberge sends it forward. Leg back in. Quadjo wins it in the middle. Condon tries to go through. Turned over. Kusi puts it up. Here we go. Doris. How? Crossbar. Doris is done everything but score today. She's beaten her. The goalie is beat. And the crossbar. Drink. Ghana's done everything but score in this half. And Mully also says, in our two chances, we should have scored two. Both sides aren't playing to be safe here. Both sides know a win guarantees them. But Ghana knows a goal means free kick here coming. Are they going throw in? But Evelyn Badu has certainly been very good. 9 minutes of additional time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Drink. Wow. So free kick coming. Portia Boache on it. All the injuries have certainly done their part here. And guys, everyone who's been here, appreciate you for being here. Make sure you touch up that like button, subscribe if you like this type of content. 1484 is nice. If you haven't already subscribed, we do primarily Canadian and African content on this channel. So stay up to date with all the lives, all the short videos that we'll have here, especially with European seasons getting going as Portia puts it in. Tries to head it in. Dealt with, but not. This goalie is going to let a goal come in. She's going to let a goal go in because she's punching but not claiming. Headed to the side, but now throwing coming from Mali. So 9 minutes for additional time. At this rate, 2 goals will be scored in this space, or 2 near goals. Doris says she has the goalie beat and hits the crossbar. But 0-0 is the game. Still 1-0 for Capo Verde and Cameroon as they have 4 minutes of additional time coming in at the end. Here comes Ghana coming back. They try to go direct, puts it through, but offsides for Evelyn Badu, who tries to sneak in on the far side on the cross. They have the right ideas, they just don't have the results. And so a good half from Ghana. But right now we sit and we wait as they try to go over, dealt with. Mali get the ball back, and they turn it around. Now Mali turning and going, let's see what they can do. They send it up, but a wayward pass. Josephine Bonsu to Boache Duawa to Kojo. Kojo turning. Portia to Dua. They go direct. The ball goes through, slipped pass. I know a goal is coming, but I want to see how it comes. Here comes Chantel. She puts it out wide to Kusi. Kusi looking, puts it back out to Chantel. Chantel, boy, Horkola cuts it, looks. Here comes the cross coming in wide, headed down, and there it is. The opener is there. Evelyn Badu has been instrumental for the Black Queen since she's come into the game. Goal for Ghana. Hey, hey. Ha, ha, ha. Yes, we are good. Thumbs. Unmarked in the middle. 1-0. The Black Queens put a foot to see Mali on Sunday. Evelyn Badu is good. I'm sure the Northern Super League are going to love that. Just unmarked gets it done. Love what they're doing. Badu has been just so good for Ghana since coming on. And so 1-0, 5 more minutes of it added time in this half. A goal that Ghana have deserved, just haven't been able to produce yet. And so 1-0. And what this means for Mali is they need 2 goals. They need to win. So Mali need 2 goals to have a shot. Right now, Ghana, a win or a draw gets them through. And Ghana have certainly played like the better side so far. But Mali have been dangerous in their transition moments. So let's see what comes from this. But we are good. We are feeling good right now. If you're Ghanaian, if you're Malian, you're hoping for better. You're hoping for better if you're Malian. As Mali with a throw in on here, they get the ball in, good headed, chipped up, badly headed ball, one back. Here comes Evelyn Badu looking, cross, switching it back. She leaves it, she has it, and right to the keeper. Doris is just finding the keeper or the bar. If she dummied it, there was a goal. It should have been two. That should have been two. See, this is why I don't. This is why I get in. Now I'm engaged. I'm invested in this game. But Horkla stepping into the midfield, certainly helping Ghana up there. But if Doris leaves that ball, you have two. Two is right there. Ball in the middle, nice play, yeah, boy. But then throw in, and the free kick now here coming for Mali. Still a lot of time in the second half. This is the side. Ooh, that could have been deadly there. Just bad miscommunication. Ghana, Ghana can't switch off here. Again, they're up and they're doing well, but they can't switch off. They finally got the goal. They cannot switch off. As Mali now with the ball, turning. Oh, you can't hold her like that. That's a foul. That is a foul. Now a dangerous kick coming for Mali, and an equalizer could leave you in a very good spot, seeing how they haven't had too much of the ball. They've been dangerous in their opportunities, but if you're Ghana, you can't be giving away fouls like this, giving teams opportunities to come back. 7 minutes into this half, Cameroon and Cape Verde are at halftime. My score is not up there, so I do apologize for that, everyone. But you can't be giving free kicks like that. You can be physical, but you gotta push them off the ball instead of grabbing them on the back of the jersey. Okay, you can't horse collar people out here. All right, so on the line we have Diarra is on it. Diarra is going to try to put it through. Goes deflected by the wall, headed into space, headed back, tries to get it, but cleared. Doris gets to it. Chantel puts the ball out wide. Doris gets to it and put out and corner. So a corner here, a third corner for Ghana. A second goal would be backbreaking from I haven't seen good set pieces in a bit here, so emotionally I don't know what to do about this. So Ghana with the set piece. All right, so here we are, Ghana. Kusi on the corner. You see the wind blowing here. So outswinger, maybe an in swinger would have been better. Tries to head in, but Mali gets it clear. Chipped up over. This should be the last action of the game, and it is 1-0 for the Black Queens. Evelyn Badu unmarked. Badu is unmarked. And quite frankly, she's been, I think, one of my favorite players for them since coming on. Her energy, the ball sticks to her in the midfield when she drops into it. And I think that has done wonders for Ghana with their progression. And against the Mali side, who in transition look like they can cause damage, they certainly are a side that I feel Badu has certainly helped them play. And I know at some point she'll have to come out, but right now, Ghana have a foot into the quarterfinals. Remember, Mali have to win the game, so now Mali need 2 goals to surpass Ghana. Ghana could go with a draw. So they can concede one, but you don't want to concede one. Get to two, and then maybe take your foot off the gas a bit. But let's look at Evelyn Badu right here. One shot on target. We have a going XG there from there. Shot on target. That's the goal. A headed shot. 2 touches in the opposing box. She had a good cross there earlier, which went without. And the one off sides, off the diagonal cross near the end of the half, where very cheeky of her to get into it, but can get through. Progressive passes, she's been all right. 6 out of 11. Passes in the final third, 3 out of 4. She's been good. Defending not too well. I think when Mali have got the ball, Ghana overall haven't looked too good because Mali can pass the ball and then really stretch out Ghana when they are exposed and have too many players forward. But you look at what the players, how they're rated, right? Sissoko, the defender, is the highest rated Malian. Evelyn Badu is the highest rated Ghanaian player. But I also want to give, I think Kusi and Yaboa both equally have done well in terms of their play and a good bounce back from Chantal Boy Workala. I think those 3 players that we just mentioned have done a good job. Dua and Boache have been doing their thing. But let's take a look at the stats for this half here, which really will tell you the story of it. Expected goals 1, 68-32 on possession for the Black Queens, which is great. 11 total shots, 6 on target. I like that ratio. If you're going to get shots, even if they're simple shots, make the goalie make a save. Everything can't be off target. You have to make the goalie make a save. That's what will matter for them. And so, 3 big chances for Ghana. Ghana could have scored multiple goals. The Doris Boadua chance where Belge tries to punch it but doesn't get enough on it. And then we'll get to the goalkeeper having to leave in a minute. And she tries to scissor. She tries to get overhead, and if the ball is here, her leg just goes here. And then you have the Doris Boadua chance where she's 1v1 with the keeper and rings the crossbar. This game could easily be 2-3-0. But realistically, in terms of chances, I think it should be 2-3-1. Because I think Mali had a chance to score and weren't able to do so as well. But look at the passes. This is what 68-32 looks like. Nearly 200 passes made versus 100. 100 more completed passes for Ghana than Mali. This is the game they're playing. The one yellow that came in, we'll talk about that actually real quick. That was Traore. She was already on a yellow. So if Mali are to progress, she will be ineligible to play. So that is the reality. If Mali's able to go through, she wouldn't be eligible to play in that sense. So that is there. But then more stats to take a look at. 2 block shots for each side. The wall doing their job. 4 free kicks for Ghana. Then a good block defenders for them. Shots inside the box. 9 of the 11 shots have been inside the box. You like to see that from a Ghana side. The 1 hit post hurt. 3 big chances for certain are there. All right, where I'm just looking at this again. Doris just rings the post, rings the crossbar, and then eventually you Condon sleeps. She shuts off. She doesn't see the player. She's not aware of the player behind her, and it's a 2v1. Ghanaians in the front of the net. They're tough, and so steps from hmm. And so the Belge catches her flat-footed, can't get to it. And Evelyn, the pride of the Roses de Montreal in the Northern Super League. You like what you see there. 3 offenses as well. Seeing Ghana are really starting to push it there. So I like what they've done so far. And right now, 1-0. No. No. Just no. Come on. Come on, John. Patrick, why? JP, what are we doing? What is it we doing? But a good half. I think it's definitely been a half that's reflective of how Ghana have been playing. For them to finally get the one goal, I think certainly is a good reward for the hard work they've played with. And so, as it currently stands, Ghana are playing Malawi on Sunday in the evening matchup after the other one comes through. And that would be drum roll, please. That would be after Cameroon, Nigeria, is where they would currently sit. And so, as it stands, Ghana will be facing Malawi here, and they've placed the winner of Cote d'Ivoire, Algeria. Again, looking at both sides here, this bottom half of the bracket looks very manageable compared to the top half of the bracket. Right? If you're Morocco or South Africa, you have to beat one of them, and then probably Nigeria or Morocco or Cameroon waiting for you in the semifinals. I'll say the thing. I think Cote d'Ivoire should get past Algeria, but we'll see. I think you could see the winner of Malawi and at this point Ghana. You can make the argument that the winner of that matchup could make the finals. And so it'll be very interesting to see how that breaks down, how that looks. They're from Mali, okay? Mali. I don't hear the United States or America in Mali. That call isn't coming in, okay? That call isn't coming in. But as it stands currently, you have Ghana facing Malawi, and that second half is that's the bracket of life. The top half is the bracket of death because the teams that are there. And even if Nigeria hadn't made there, that could have been no. If Zambia had made it there, then they would have been in the Malawi spot. Nigeria would have been in the second spot, or regardless. The second half is built for a team that we haven't seen in the finals make the finals. We're going to have a new finalist here, or perhaps an old one way or the other. So that's where it sits. So as it stands, it's if you're a Ghanaian fan, you're feeling good. You're feeling very good. But as it stands with the group, you have Cameroon finishing in first in their group. Mali are in third, Ghana in second, and Capo Verde in last as it stands. And it's not an impossible bracket for certain. The Belch, I think the big story coming into the half for me is you have to take out Carantau for Lee Belch in the 22nd minute. That to me was the goalie wasn't bad. And again, looking at it again for me, it looked like the player, it looked like when she went limp to try to sell the foul, she landed on her knee very hard. And I think that injury made it very difficult. We'll have to wait and see what the injury is, what the timetable is, but she couldn't continue. And as a result, she sits there going through. Lee Belch came in, and Lee Belch wasn't solid. Lee Belch looked very uncertain in the net as a goalkeeper who hasn't been there for a little bit too long. She felt and looked very uncertain in terms of the decisions that she was trying to make. And I think that made it very tough on her to move back and forth. And so I think that's what will make it very interesting taking a look at the options and what they could do. But going to their backup goalkeeper, maybe Traore, maybe say Carantau saves that goal that Badu scores. But the issue with it is Evelyn Badu is unmarked. Evelyn Badu is unmarked on that goal. And I think that's Condon, who's a defender. She is asleep. She is asleep. And I think that's what makes it a little bit more difficult for me to say the goalkeeper. The defending was just no one was marking. And I think when Condon, when she turns around, she sees it, she's like, that was definitely my man. That was definitely the player I was supposed to cover. And so 1-0. For Mali, you need now 2 goals. You can't concede again. You need 2 goals. For Ghana, you have 1 goal. End the game quickly. Find a goal. and then maybe you can take off some players and rest. You don't play till Sunday, so you can definitely try to play. And there's definitely attacking players they can try to play in and see what they can do. But for Ghana, secure the win and then start to get players out, keep them fresh, keep them safe, and don't try to compromise that. Her own zip code, she set up an LLC there. She got down and came back up, and she had enough time to be like, no, I'm actually more of a sole proprietor here. So with my entrepreneurship, I am Evelyn Bad Do Goals. Bad all the goals. Bag all of them. She went down, headed it, got back up, and still the defender hadn't reacted. And so it's certainly it's certainly something to say. So as we see, as of now, Ghana are facing Malawi on Sunday. And the other game, in case there's a Cameroonian who's like, but what about Cameroon? Cameroon are playing well. Okay, so for Cameroon are doing what Cameroon does. They got their goal. A little bit more of an even game. Couple words certainly trying to play to leave with pride, and they've done it. But at this point, 11 shots for the Cameroonians, one shot on target. That's some U20 nonsense action and frustration. Not nonsense, but frustration. And so that's where we sit as we're getting back for a second. Of action is coming back in. We'll let you know if there are any substitutions as we come through. As we'll throw this back up here for you. So far, Evelyn Badu, everything. A cool drink. She could have sat down, got herself a big pot, got her pounding stick, started to pound fufu, and then head the ball in, and then pound some more fufu there. She had time. But most certainly, the options were there as you see some more of the stats of the game on this first half. Ah, yes. The fans are having fun. And if you're Ghanaian, you're having much more fun than the Malian fans. That's for sure. It's unfortunate, though. I will say the supporters' union is just a flag. The Ghanaians are like, where are the people? Where, where are the people? Let's see what Kim Lar's done. So let's see if there's any substitutions. I'm waiting to see what comes up. Any substitutions coming in? Not looking like we have too much. But again, to me, having looking at things from the Mali end, they lost the starting keeper 10 minutes in, earned a yellow, got Dahl Huck in possession, and still only conceded a late goal. They must come thinking we're still in this. Oh, you have to. A chance to make history? A chance to possibly play for a World Cup? You got to say, look, as bad as it was, it's only 1-0. That's you've got to be thinking that. And so that to me is like, okay, You gotta think you're still into this. Nor definitely, most definitely. Yeah, you just don't like him. I know. I've seen your comments everywhere. You just don't like him. And trading them to score goals, you can only do so much. Doris has hit the crossbar. She's missed a chance that would have been a goal. They've had a few other spots that were there. 1-0 is probably sick. Probably two is what they should have had. Training them to score goals. If a player doesn't finish, is that on the goal or is that on the player or the coach? It's on the player. Because if they get in the position to score and you can't, that's on the player. The system, everything, the passing was there. They got the ball into great spots. They've only scored one so far. I'm not gonna say this is a great progressive ball, but again, I watch Spain women play. I watch the Germans. I watch the English. There is levels to this. But in this game, they've put the ball in the good spots. They've just not been able to score. And so two substitutions coming in for Mali. You have Diarra and Diabate coming on from Mali. And they are going to be removing two others. I'll get you the players who came off in a moment. But right now, it's only a 1-goal lead for Ghana. And so a second goal will give them a little bit more life as Mali turns, sets the ball, get the ball into the midfield because Mali get the ball out wide. They get the ball back in the middle, playing it on the diagonal, but too much pace on it, and a goal kick coming for them. Satchel, the goal between it's 1-0 Cameroon. Oh, 1-1. Capo Verde have just scored an equalizer. Good for them. Morea scored in the 50th minute for Capo Verde. And so 1-1 in that game. Again, the result doesn't affect here the group standings. Cameroon will finish first, one way or the other. But right now, that game is now tied 1-1. For those of you who are keeping track there. And looks like Portia Boache is down. I don't need this in my life. I don't. Could it be cramping? Could it be curving? She's she's holding her back. So Portia Boache is down. We'll see what Ghana does there. That's down probably one of their better passing center backs as we sit here. The foot, yeah, that could be something. I don't need this in my life because you're looking at Portia Boache. She's skipping, and then she goes down immediately. But she grabs under the leg, so hopefully just a hamstring for Portia Boache. But that is not great news for Ghana as they start the half. But let's see if they can keep some of this as Mali have started this half with a lot bit of good diagonal ball from Mali, but too much pace on it as they switch it back. Tries to go through block shots, trying for something, but nothing. Mali definitely feeling the onus to try to create a chance as the ball is cleared. As here we come, another throwing coming from Mali. Mali's certainly seen the opportunity, trying to get the ball into a dangerous spot and get one back to give himself some life. Ghana tries to clear it. Turned, but then played back in. Portia has yet to return to the pitch, so we'll see what happens with that. But looks like she's being asked to wait. Headed back into the middle, tries to shoot, can't get to it. blocked, but calling a handball on the block. So Evelyn Badu gets called on it, and it's a direct central free kick. Evelyn Badu tries to jump in. Hand comes, so good call. We'll see what comes of it. And is that Portia back in? No, not quite in yet. Watch it certainly is there. And yes, I do agree with Setio. If Portia is out, it is a problem. She's defended so well. She is the captain. So many things. All right, so let's see. Let's see what we do with this free kick. Molly have certainly started this half off well, but direct with some venom, they'll give themselves an opportunity. They go direct, goes through, and beats it 1-1. Molly have life. Molly have life. And now we are back to square, but Ghana still on top as we sit. One's everywhere. One's everywhere. But great free kick. Takes it. Oh, the deflection causes it. Oh, yeah. Deflected. You can't do anything on it. As a goalie, you're moving one direction and then it goes the other. 1-1. And now the game goes. Now, yeah, as a goalie, you can't do much about that. It's tough, but you moving in one direction, reflexes weren't there. 1-1 game on. Mali still alive. Mali on the ball are looking like the better side because they're moving quicker and you know their passes are going to reach. But a turnover from Mali coming now, Ghana coming the other way. Ghana looking, trying to play in, and a corner coming in. I see you, JD. I just want to make the World Cup, okay? Let me be. But one's everywhere. So what this means, again, still because of goal difference, Ghana is ahead of Mali. Mali can only advance with a win. Ghana can not lose. So Ghana still playing well enough, but Mali certainly have had the better run of the first few minutes of the second half. So let's see what happens on this corner. Try to go wide and headed away. Another corner coming. Hey, it's okay. I listen. Listen. I'm okay. I am okay. There's no love lost. Yes, yes, we have it. We have it. We have it, Raphael. We have it here. It's scrolling on the screen. Mali up to one, Ghana at one. All the games are 1-1, actually. No problem, no problem. And yes, you leave for a minute. Get back in front of the screen. No more goals, John. Kusi in swinger, gets the front post. Kusi tries to put it back over, but headed not well. Turns, puts a shot, another shot blocked. And Mali now with the ball in transition. They are better in transition. Mali are just a better side in transition because they actually get their transition system is nice. He needs like Ghana gets the ball back, but they are just their system is just so much better. Oh, you have it. Chantel, but too much on it. She gets it forward, but a bad pass throwing coming from Mali. I think this game ends in a draw, to be honest. Not because I needed to separate, but I think If you're Ghana right now, I see. The funny thing is, I can hear exactly how you're saying it, and I can hear you saying this, JD. Oh, it's the great Ghana, the great Ghana. Okay, I'm just saying, make the World Cup, and for them to do that, they can't lose today. Cleared again, and now we have another throw in coming from Mali. This is gonna be chances galore here, and if you're Ghana, you have to stay ahead. If you're Ghana, you just need to stay ahead. That's what I was hoping for a second, but Mali gets the deflection off the set piece, and it's there. They try to clear it, but can't get past. But a bad head to the middle. You have Kusi playing the ball out. But Doris trying to dribble. Doris is not going to dribble past anyone. So I don't know what you're doing, Doris. Tries to go by two. Tries to go by three. She's like a faster Jordan AU at this point. It's just all I'm living. This is the life I have. And played back. Josephine tries to clear it through. And they're throwing coming for Mali. Manu Razak, I'd say. Nope, nope, nope. That's not the link. I don't have a live link per se, but if you have a VPN, you can switch it to UK and watch it on CONCACAF's. I'm not CONCACAF. See, this is how long I've done this for. You can switch it to CAF's YouTube channel, and that's where it is. If you have a VPN, switch it to UK or England, and then go from there. You should be good. But that's the link for the CONCACAF YouTube page. Thank you, John Patrick. We're there, and we'll live there. So free kick coming up for Mali, and Ghana feeling a little bit more nervy. A goal would certainly help Ghana here. It would certainly help them. But Ghana now feel like they have to play in transition, which and dealt with, and that's what the Malian keeper isn't doing. She's not claiming those 50-50 of those middle balls. If she claims them more, they wouldn't have given up the chances that they had. Good by Cynthia Conlon to claim that and go. Let's see if Ghana can work from here. But still, 1-1 as it stands. Ghana, well, Portia is in the game now as they go direct. Won it, chipped up into the middle. Quadro with it. Chantal has her hands up saying, I'm free. But we have a down Malian player. So we'll have a drop ball, and we'll look at that there. So 1-1 is the score as we go. Again, as it stands. I would really like to see, but yeah. So Asiat Traore is the player who is down. She has the armband currently. Oh, she tries to. She go. Oh, I didn't see that. She just goes down. This is just not the best luck for Mali. Their players, unfortunately, in their most important moments, are just coming up injured. Chipped over, tries to deal with, headed out, and another corner coming in. Okay, so now Ghana with a corner here. Ones all across the board. That's Kusi. We'll go from there. Kusi, an in swinger ball, tries to head it down. Oh, Doris with another miss. You can't. That should have. You can't miss that. You can't miss that. If you're Doris, that's the third miss from Doris. As we go direct and a free kick coming from Molly. Um, what I'm doing here is giving commentary for those who can't get access to it. That's from CAF TV Live. That's official. Not everyone can have access to it, so I'm there for those who can't have it. Right? I'm not going to show it because I don't want to lose my YouTube channel. Some people have, and I don't know what's happened to them, but I'm just not going to go through. So if you have a VPN, it's official from CAF. You can go there if you'd like to watch it. It's certainly an option. But Mali with a better play in the second half so far. Been the better side. And if you're Ghana, you certainly don't want to tempt fate. You either have to just take all these waves or get a goal. Weather all these waves or get a goal here and see what you can do. All right, so let's see what happens here. As the Ghana goes direct, they go back in. Nearly a problem, but they get the ball down the wide and headed back. Some good interplay, good movement, but Chantal gets the ball back now for Ghana in the middle. She's looking, she puts the ball out wide, gets it to Doris. Doris plays it well. Evelyn Badu looks, turns, looking to strike, passes it, plays out wide. Yabo puts it in, headed down, nearly in, on the line. How is it not? How many of these scrambles are they not going to score? Ghana, I beg. Ah, the second one. All we can do is laugh. Kusi can't get to it. Evelyn Badu tries to get to it. Can't get to it at all. My, if Ghana doesn't give up free kicks, they're winning this game. But they'll probably have every opportunity to score and not score. It's all they can do is laugh. A late foul coming in, and Asiata gets a yellow for a late attack. Mali have been fortunate here, and Ghana have been terrible at finishing. They've done everything but finish late. Natrare with rather quiet. We'll see what they're able to do with this moment here. Headed into the middle, won by Ghana. Chantal gets to it. Good shield turns. Throw in coming for Ghana. Puts the ball in. Tries to cross it. And the late run can't get the goal. Doris with another miss. She's saying she didn't get to it, but and that she's right. Doris doesn't get to it, but they give the free kick. They give the goal kick to Molly. And now Molly with the ball, they'll create a chance. As Ghana goes direct, but headed back and won by Molly. Now Molly with the ball, and they get the ball, win it. Bad control by Ghana. And here comes Molly. Deflectors. Let's see how we get there. Molly, when they put the ball on the pitch, on the carpet, they are the better side. But a bad turnover. Molly looking, put the shot in, gets it up to the middle. Molly puts a shot and skies it over. Whenever each side gets the ball, a chance is coming. Ghana's are so ridiculous that they're their misses. I just don't know. And Molly, I'm holding my listen. My heart's in my throat when Molly have the ball. So I am hurry up and finish game. 68th minute of a bad ball played in, but then played back out to the wide. And they try to get it, but Molly get the ball back into the middle. And now Molly progressing. They're trying to a little bit too far out. Can they get the pass in, but too deep? And pass coming in, throwing coming in for Ghana. So here comes Ghana breaking into the midfield. They played a good layoff up top, played further, but Doris can't get to it, and a free kick coming. Goal kick for Mali. At this point, if I'm Ghana, just start shooting from everywhere. Something chaotic is going to happen. Ghana with the ball here, back into the middle, laid off to the right, but then one back by Mali. Mali goes direct, but errant pass going back to Ghana. Ghana now dribbling through. They get the ball through. Can't quite get to it. And Libauch gets to it. Kusi just inches off of it. And she goes direct in the middle. This first half, the second half is giving chances to Ghana with the ball, it through, dribbling through, and taken down in a free kick now coming for Ghana. A goal would certainly do well here. A goal would do well. I'm just asking. Asantewa doing her best in the midfield, but draws the foul. So they can either go direct here or or they try to get a cross in. At this point, go direct. Okay, because the crosses will just dribble everywhere and no one will score. This is what will happen if they go that if they try to cross it. They'll get good contact. The Bells will get a hand on it, and then it'll be 8 feet trying to kick at the ball. Just go direct, Ghana. Go direct. They go for the chip and easily dealt with. Belch goes with the long throw, gets the ball into the middle. One back by Ghana. Asante tries to play through, but then dispossessed by Mali. And now Mali with the ball, but Ghana first with it. Here we go. Oh, Josephine loses the ball. Now here comes Mali. They get the ball into the middle. They're looking for options. Nearly got it, but back to Mali. Mali now looking. Tries to get it through for the pass, but wrong placement. Good idea, wrong placement. And it back to Cynthia Conlon as Ghana trying to sell the ball here a bit. They go through. And as an update, Cameroon have just scored. Abam came in and scored. Came in the 70th minute, score in the 73rd. And so looks like Cameroon are headed to going 3 wins and 3 games in their group. The matchup versus Nigeria. As Doris tries to get the ball goes out. Chantal with too heavy of a touch. And throw coming for Ghana. So 2-1 for Cameroon in that matchup. So here comes Ghana. They've tried to play it out. Asantewa turns, loses the ball. Now here comes Mali. The runners are there. She lays it off for the runner. Looking, gets the ball into the middle. Good cutback, good defending. If Ghana could you score, I would really appreciate that. I would really appreciate that if you could score Ghana, so I could breathe. I'd like to be able to breathe, not have my heart in my throat for this game. As Mali puts the ball in, I think that's Traore on the ball, plays it back out, back to Traore, but a bad kick and goal kick given. Somali players are protesting. I call it a makeup call. But now calling on looking to see where they can go. Ball headed into the middle. Now here we have Ghana with some space. They play the ball out wide. Kusi with it. Sends it up to Doris. And Doris has it. She lays it off to Evelyn. She has it. Evelyn puts it in. Two. I can breathe. Evelyn Badu. Badu. Hmm. 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 2-1 for Ghana. They can breathe a little bit easier. My Twitter is gonna hit that. It looks like Doris is on sides, but we'll definitely have to take a look at it. But we'll wait to see if it is actually a goal. So I'm not going to update it. And I just tweeted. Ah, quick call. So Ghana does not get the second goal. We'll see what happens. But then Ghana certainly looking better since that. Hopefully they can use this energy to really progress and get that second goal again. Second goal gives them at least 2 goals of space to play with. But a bad pass goes back to Mali. And so now we'll see what they can do. Mali not out of it yet, just a goal and they are through. Ghana need a goal for some insurance. As we're in the 72nd minute, heading to the 73rd minute here. As Mali getting the ball out wide, bad pass, but they get the touch in, so throwing coming for Mali. Oh, too much space in the midfield. Ghana coming now. They've turned. Asante Wall with a nice turn, dribbling. She's weaving. Oh, that's a foul and a yellow coming in for Dembele. Gets the yellow. That's number 6. That's Dembele. So Dembele now, if Mali are able to go through, they'd be without Traore and Dembele, and so might as well just like got Ghana through, right? Right. Asante was certainly playing well in the midfield, dribbling through with the space she's given. We have another substitution coming in. I will let you know what the substitutions are as they come in for Ghana. Chantal Boyle Horkla, definitely the better of her 3 games. Definitely her best out of the last 3 games. And so with this, you might continue to play with Evelyn Badu in the middle, but the Nyamachet, I think she could certainly add into the middle, but then also out wide. Let's see what they can do with it. And Josephine Bonsu is still in the wingback space. You still have Portia Boache, who's looked better since coming back from the injury, but a bad pass into the middle. Molly again transition wise, once they have the ball, they're not losing it. Ghana's got to bury one of these chances. But Ghana wins it. Some good running, some good shielding as Josephine gets to it, turns, nice back heel, gets it into the middle, and now here comes Asante while she's looking. She goes long, holds it up. Good one, good diagonal. Yamachia with the ball. Can she feather it in? She doesn't see it. Tries to dribble past and goes out for a throw. Molly, deep throw coming in for Ghana. If she saw the pass, if she could have feathered it in, that could have put it in on goal. But then knowing Ghana, they would have missed. Here comes Josephine Bontu, sets in the cross, but a weak ball through. Goal kick coming from Mali. We're in the 75th minute. We probably have two to three additional minutes, as it's her shoulder that puts her off sides. That's Mali with the ball and a throwing coming in. Ghana right now, it's if Ghana lose this game, it's definitely the story of this tournament will be the chances that they didn't finish. Because they should have multiple goals at this point. And for a Mali side, you'd say they made the most of their opportunities. And that's where the struggle with the value of this Ghana side is going to be. It's not for lack of chances. They could not bury them. As a block shot goes, and a corner coming in from Mali. As we're getting to the dying moments here again, if it stays as it currently is, oh, that goal was taken off. So everyone's still at ones. I gotta adjust that. Sorry about that, folks. It's still 1-1 in that game. But like for it's not for lack of chances for Ghana. They've just not finished them. And they've had every opportunity to do it as we have a corner coming in here from Mali. But the referee is gonna speak with the players here. As we wait. This is getting to some very It's like Conlan, the goalkeeper, was stepped on. So we'll wait and see what comes from it as the in-swinger comes in, tries to deal with it, and claimed by Cynthia Conlon. And she is limping. We'll see what happens. But so far, Ghana, like that's the thing. If it's Mali, look, they made the most of their opportunities. George tries to throwing coming for Ghana. Ghana really need a goal just to let them be able to breathe because they're playing with fire with the chances that Mali are going to have here. As the ball goes up, Yamachia tries to get to it, but can't get to it. But Josephine Bonsu gets to it. She turns, she plays it out to Yamachia. Back to Josephine, but through, turned over. Molly gets it. A good deflection. Now here comes Molly. Here comes Molly in the transition. 2-on-4, but dispossessed in the middle. Ghana with the ball back. They play it out wide to Josephine Bonsu. Yamachia gets it. Tries to go through the middle. A good idea, but can't quite put it through. And now Molly with the ball. Vibalch rolls it out. Soko gets the ball through in the middle, turning, deflection, hand called. They win it back, put the ball deep. And Ghana tries to clear, but not quite out. Still in play somehow. Molly shut off for a moment. Badu tries to slip it through, but Doris can't get to it. And now She's going to chase for a little bit. Still going through. We are getting to the 80th minute nearly in the 79th as we stand. 10 minutes, probably plus 1 or 2 minutes of additional time. Again, if it stays tied, Ghana moves through. And if any side wins, that the winning side move through. And so, Kusi tries to dispossess, but is dispossessed. Diani gets the ball. She's looking. She puts the ball down the line. Good pass, good turn. Gets the ball dribbled away. Can we get a block on? Block and corner coming in for Mali. Fourth corner for Mali coming in. A set piece, and we're going to see the Arsenal schmozzle and hope for a goal. Mali need to score in order to move on. Ghana need to defend this draw to move on. 80th minute is where we stand. Let's see if a goal can be produced here. Corner goes in, tries to chip, but deflected out wide. So another corner coming. Another corner coming. Fifth corner coming from Mali now. Let's see what Ghana can do here. If they can defend this, let's see if Mali can find the winner. They've certainly deserved it this half. A high looping, headed down and away. Now here comes Ghana. Here comes Ghana. Try to play through the middle. She tries to dribble. Asante what does, but dispossessed. Mali with the ball now. They go back into the middle and chipped out wide. But Mali get the ball back. Let's see what they can possess with this. Deflection. No free kick given. Not the time to feign injuries. It's time to go get a goal or defend. Do one of the two. But it's a throw-in coming for Ghana. The referee gives. Let's see what comes in this moment. A deep throw-in. A turn. Doris tries to get it. Puts it out wide. Another throw-in coming for Ghana. 82 minutes through. High ball goes in the middle. Chipped away. Josephine Bantu tries to dispossess but can't. Throw in coming for Mali. We're in the dangerous set of time. A goal either buries Mali or buries Ghana here. That's the reality. If it stays drawn, Ghana moves on. As Portia Boache puts it long. Nyamachi gets it. Good turn, good hold with the ball. Cuts it back. And throw in coming in for Ghana. 82nd to 83rd minute. Double change coming in for Ghana here on this throw. So now we have Linda Owusu coming in. And let me get you the other name here. And Doris Boadu is going off. And Evelyn Badu going off. So 9-13 off for Ghana. And coming on. So Owusu Ansa. And then Zachariah coming. So 20 and 21 coming on for Ghana. Ghana now dribbling through the middle. Turning. Josephine Bantu goes long. Headed back in. But Ghana are winning these second balls right now, which is doing well for them. Headed up. Nearly a collision that caused the problem. But good movement. A nice step over. Nice movement there. Agreed, John Patrick. Agreed. Nearly a through ball in, but Ghana now gets the throw in. Again, I'm assuming probably 4, no, 3-ish, 4-ish minutes of additional time coming through. As Ghana get the ball in the middle, Kwajo gets it back out, chips it through. Second ball, one in the middle, chip through. Oh, a good ball diagonal getting through, but well won. But the deflection, they can't get to it. And Mali with the goal kick coming. You want to be careful, Ghana. You want to commit too much forward. But if you can bury this game, you want to bury this game because one goal and you're out. As the goal kick goes, Portia plays it out wide. Nyamachit gets it with a bad pass, but one back by Ghana. Try to play it off for the throw. And now Mali with the ball. They go diagonal. As Ghana tries it and they chip it out for the throw in for Mali. Now Mali can advance players. Now it gets even more nervy. How it gets more nervy. 23 fouls in this game. Is that more than the shots? I feel like that's going to be the case. Yep. Same amount of shots as fouls. Nearly goes down, but Josephine gets the ball back and back in. They try to go direct. Oh, if you turned, you had her. If you turned, you had her. But Josephine Bantu goes back over to Nyamache. Nyamache tries to dribble through the middle, gets the ball into the middle of Kwajo. Kwajo plays it out wide. Tries to chip it inside, but easily dealt with by Libel. Ghana have created chances, just final third decision hasn't been there. Hasn't been clinical. Hasn't been sharp. That's the word I'll use. They haven't been sharp in the final third. Getting the ball to dangerous spots, they've done that all game, but they haven't been sharp, and that's why it's still 1-1. That's why all their games have been close. Now here comes Ghana with a diagonal. They're looking, trying to get the ball out, but poked away from the corner. We're in the 87th minute. A set piece here. A goal could do it, but we'll see. As Linda Wusu just can't get it as Condon fights her off and pokes up for the goal kick. So here comes Kusi with an outswinging ball coming in. Tries to head it, but player goes down. Foul called. Let's see if Ghana can do anything here. But Mali now with the ball. Mali now with the onus. Again, only a win for Mali sets them through. Ghana, though, doing a good job winning the ball in the midfield. Whenever a good ball up high. Oh, Linda Wusu puts it wide. Shot coming through. Oh, dispossessed. Dispossessed. Niamachi with it. She's taking too much time on the ball as Josephine Bantu looks. She sends in the cross. Headed down. Struck. Oh. Satewa can't finish it. Getting to the 90th minute, gets her foot under it too much, sends it wayward. But that came with some venom. And a corner given, I think it's a bad goal kick. She double touches the goal kick. Oh, you not on a mistake like this. We're in the 88th minute, coming to the 89th. Let's see how much additional time we will have. So outswinging ball from Kusi. Kusi puts it in. Got headed away. But not out. Shot. And saved. Good save by Lee Belch. Good diving save. Good diving save by Yabo. Yabo puts it on, and if she doesn't get there, it's going. Libelge gets to it. Good save by Libelge. Look, not bad, but 89th minute. Coming, time is ticking. We'll see how much time is left. Coming. Another header wasted on a corner. Just goes down as Dua puts it out. Sorry, Porsche. I'm sorry. Yeah, Watch it puts it out. So Molly with the throw. They want the throw taken at the correct space. And a substitution coming in. A double change for maybe 3 minutes. Waiting to see how much time is given. The referee hasn't given it yet, but we'll let you know when it is. A four-play. You're waiting now to bring in 4 players? Molly, you're not serious. Like, if you pull it off, good for you. But you're not serious. 3 minutes of additional time. You're not serious. 4 players. You've been you. You're not serious. Ghana with the ball now. They just need to see out 3 minutes. And right now they're passing it through. Oh, foul given. Let's see what can happen here. The stress is real. Just get through. They go direct on a free kick. They should have passed it around. Dispossessed in the middle. Ghana gets it. Play through. Okay, Ghana turning around. Could you put it through? Direct shot. Easily dealt with and claimed by the keeper. Belch throws it out now. Molly coming through. A good turn. Push down. Josephine Bontu gets called for the foul. So Molly have to go direct now. No cuteness. Route 1. Almost. She's definitely grown into this half. This half, she's definitely looked better. Most definitely. Right? And she's definitely one for the future, if not the present for Molly. If that's your backup, you got options. You're good. Let's go direct. Ghana really have to stop with this giving up free kicks. Throw coming in, a minute 30. We're getting to the end here. The stress, my heart is in my throat right now, Ghana. But turned over. Here comes Molly. Tries to step over and free kick coming. You want to take too much time on this, but you either try to go short corner on this or get into a crossing position. But this is not what you want if you're Ghana. You just need to defend this. Well, this is the Lady Eagles? My bad. I mean, let me give you some respect. The Lady Eagles of Mali. The Lady Eagles of Mali. The Lady Eagles of Mali. A three player wall for Ghana. Everyone is back. Yabate looking, looping in, claimed by the keeper, and she holds on to it. You should have stayed down longer. Boots it forward, and there it is. Ah, I can breathe. Whoo! Whoo! If Ghana could finish, we'd be something. But we can't finish. But Evelyn Badu gets the goal that pushes Ghana. We will see you, Malawi, on Sunday. Whew. stress. Ah, stress. But Ghana again go draw, win, lost in their group. Except in this stage, they lose the second game, not the first one from last year. So Ghana with the draw, they go up 1-0 at half. They give up the free kick, score another second half goal that gets wiped off due to VAR because Doris Boadua can't stay on sides. But with that, whoo, Evelyn Badu, ha, ha, she sends Ghana to the quarterfinals as we sit through, which means officially our quarterfinals are set. Our quarterfinals are set. And starting on Saturday, Ghana will take on Malawi here. So Group D runner up, as you see it here, will be Ghana. That is Malawi. That is Sunday evening. That is the last game of the quarterfinals. And so the bracket is set. Well done to the Black Queens and valiant effort by the Lady Eagles. Quite frankly, they had a much better second half. They deserved a few more chances. Ghana, though, I've never seen a team so allergic to scoring goals as Ghana was in this game. Two goal line scrambles, and you couldn't. They kicked everything but the goal. They kicked the players, they kicked the post, they kicked air. But Evelyn Badu with her goal should have been her second, and they do it. Man, let the echo. My videos show up here, and so that's where we sit now. Congratulations on them. So the final 8 teams battling. 6 of these 4 teams will have a chance to go into the World Cup. 4 directly and 2 through the Intercontinental Playoff. And so again, your matchups now are Morocco versus South Africa. That's the late match on Saturday. The first match is going to be Cote d'Ivoire, Algeria. So that's the first match on Saturday. Then it's Morocco, South Africa. And that's a rematch of the 2022 WAFCON in Morocco. And then come Sunday, you have Cameroon, the group winners who drew Capo Verde today. They will face Nigeria. And they will play the winner of Morocco, South Africa. And then the late game, the nightcap will be Malawi versus Ghana. And that is where we sit. Those are the 8 teams fighting for the opportunity. And congratulations to them. But to give again, well, Mali to me played. You saw it when they had the ball in transition. My heart was in my throat. I was nervous. But again, for Ghana, the story for me is if we could finish, we would have finished all these games like 3-4-0. But sometimes I'll take chances over just not finishing. And so for them, they're going to face a Malawi side who maybe, I mean, if the goalkeeper gave up the goal that she gave against Barbara Banda, if I'm Ghana, shoot from everywhere and hope from there. But then you have to deal with the Chewinga sisters coming through. I don't want to see any Ghanaian saying, we beat Malawi 4-0 in a friendly. We should be fine. They weren't playing the sisters. Okay? It's a different team. So I'm a little bit more nervous with that. But the teams are there. Let's take a look at the final stats and we'll see the ratings for the players as they are there. One last look. Kusi gets the player of the game for Ghana. And quite frankly, I think she was very active and very well deserving in it, especially into the playmaking aspect. Now, her accurate crosses and passes in the box weren't always there. And she's playing at Fenerbahce. I'm pretty sure that's Fenerbahce. But accurate passes in the final third, 70%. Accurate layoffs for 1 big chance created. And then look at the progression. You saw her, you saw Asantewa, even Kwajo do a good job of that as well. Accurate passes 25 out of 37. Passes in the final third, 6 out of 11. Progressive passes, you'd like to see that improve. Duels, one, not quite there, 6 out of 15, but in aerial duels, 5 out of 6 were there. Fouls committed, recovery, six, two clearances, and one interception. I liked what we got from her. Doris, definitely an improved game. 7 total shots, 3 on target, 4 off target. She should have scored multiple goals in this game. And so we definitely that's gonna be the question. That's gonna be what either sends or stops Ghana. If they're gonna continue to rely on Doris Bodua to score, yo, you gotta score, Doris. That's gonna be the thing because she got chances, 7 shots overall. The crossbar one hurts. The missed one on the scramble, the other missed one on the scramble. There's opportunities. It's not for lack of chances, but at some point she's going to start burying them, right? And this is where the Canadian me says, I saw Jonathan David create chances and not finish. So we'll see that. But progression, she was good. I want to give a shout out again in her defending. She did well. Evelyn Badu certainly performed well. I think her having the ball stick to her in the midfield definitely helped a lot with the shots created. She gets the goal. One shot side, touches inside the box are there. Improves with accurate passes in the final third. Again, final third creation, she was there for it. I liked what we got from Evelyn Badu there. And then Du's defending wasn't quite there. She's not known for defending, and that's fine. Asantewa also, she didn't get a high rating, but you saw her breaking out when they won the ball, moving in. And their final third passes there. Progression, she was all over this progression. I like that. Accurate passes, 27 out of 35. Pass in the final third, 5 out of 9. Progressive passes, 6 out of 9. 3 shots. The one shot where it just curves away is not quite there. Successful dribbles. She suffered 4 fouls in progressing the ball. Defending, she won duels, ground duels, and the likes. 9 recoveries and turning and going. I like what we got from Asante Watch. She may not get all the flowers. I know Kusi certainly was there, as we see Freddie on canvas say it. And I agree. Kusi was incredible tonight, really impactful in the attack. Agreed. If only Ghana could finish. If only they could finish. And look, for Chantal Boyle Horkla, this was definitely her best out of the 3 games she played. Definitely the best out of the 3 games that she played. Better dribbling, better in the playmaking, no doubt. Passing, and again, like, look, this is far better than what she played. And so that's a good that you need her. You're going to need her because Kim Lars is probably going to start her again against Malawi. But seeing Badu can't be dropped. Kusi can't be dropped. I would run this lineup again. Maybe you put in Simon over Yaboa. We'll wait and see. Josephine Bonsu, again, another solid performance. She's probably been the most consistent Ghanaian player in this whole tournament. She was player of the match against Capo Verde. She was good against Cameroon. And then here, I think if you rated all 3 games, she would be there. Evelyn Badu certainly would get some good ratings as well. But I think I'd be good with this lineup. Maybe you go Simon over Yaboa. You wait and see for that. There might be a knock there. We'll have to wait and see. But we shall see. We shall see indeed. And just for everyone who's wondering, the game for Capo Verde and Cameroon ends in a draw. So Capo Verde left with something. They score in the 51st minute. Moira scores. A bomb scored a goal, but then it was taken away. And that's where we sit. And so as a result, let me get the final standings for the group, which I could just hit one here. You have Cameroon in first. The draw between Ghana and Mali sends Ghana through because Ghana still progressed with the goal difference. Mali finishes with 4 points. If this was last year, they maybe get through as a third place side, but they don't. And Capo Verde earned their first point at a continental tournament. So congratulations to the ladies, to the Lady Sharks. Is that their name? I don't know. I know the men are the Blue Sharks. So we'll see the wave coming in. And so congratulations to them. And again, to remind you of the matchups coming up starting this Saturday. finally updated. Morocco versus South Africa is the nightcap. So the order is Cote d'Ivoire, Algeria. That's the first game on Saturday. Then it's Morocco, South Africa. That's a good matchup. And then it's Cameroon, Nigeria, followed by Malawi, Ghana. Both days, I think the Sunday slot are a lot more interesting. But again, the top half of this bracket, the winners, you could have rematches of AFCON finals past happen before they reach this AFCON final, right? If Nigeria gets past Cameroon and say Morocco get past South Africa, Morocco might have to go through their it might be Morocco might feel like this is a video game and they're going through the past bosses and they have to go through their past bosses before they get to the final boss. If they get past the past bosses, they'll be good. But we'll see what happens with Morocco there. And then the bottom half of this bracket, Cote d'Ivoire, Algeria, Malawi, Ghana. I'm saying this now. I think the winner of Malawi, Ghana could be in the finals. They could be in the finals. Cote d'Ivoire versus Algeria, that can go either way. That could be a wash. Malawi versus Ghana. I'm saying I think the winner of that matchup could be in the finals. That could be and that's wild to think about it. One half of the bracket is breeze, the other half is murderer's row. But that's where it is. It starts on Saturday, so get your clocks ready, get your favorite snacks. If you're Ghanaian, I won't lie, losing to Cameroon may have been a blessing in disguise. I'm sorry. If you're Ghana, losing to Cameroon, you may be a blessing in disguise because look at if Ghana's where Cameroon is right now. I'm saying straight up. Look, I see playoff. Okay, intercontinental playoffs where we're going. Okay, so that's how we're gonna get through. But Cameroon get that pathway. Nigeria again had to bundle against Malawi. Malawi top in the group changed a lot for what we thought teams would be, but to get to the World Cup, one game. The 8 teams, 6 teams will have the opportunity to get to the World Cup. 4 will, 2 will have to play through. And it all starts on Saturday. Guys, thank you so much for being here for the stream. If you haven't already, touch the like button on this video so it gets a little bit of visibility and know to come back for the rest of our live streams and such. And if you like this type of content, we do primarily Canadian and African content here on The Shape of Football. We encourage you to subscribe, turn on notifications so you know every time a video goes up, we're live. We've been covering not only this, but also the CONCACAF Men's Under 20 Championship. And congratulations to Canada, as I get to say it here, for qualifying for the Men's Under 20 World Cup. But we're going to have more content coming through. But today gets to be like a day where I can finish and go on. Good evening if you're watching in Europe or in Africa. Good late afternoon if you're somewhere else. We'll wrap up the stream here. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And as always, I will just stop talking right